Welcome everyone to Tripp's art class. Today, before you even pick up your pencil and open up your sketchbook, what I want you to do is put your pencil down and go ahead and stretch your hands, loosen those hands up a little bit. It might be early in the morning, or maybe you just haven't drawn in a while, so it's good to loosen up your hands, stretch them out before you even grip that pencil. And before you grip that pencil, what I want you to do is pick it up with a loose grip. If you pick it up with a heavy grip, just go ahead and put it back down and pick it up with a very loose grip. Now today we're going to be sketching today with a blue color pencil, or actually a pencil with just blue lead. This is a technique that a lot of animators do. So it's just kind of fun to do sometimes, switch things up and use blue lead. You don't have to do that, but I'm going to do that here on my digital sketchbook paper using the iPad Pro app called Procreate. So I'm going to go ahead and begin today by zooming out a little bit, so zooming in technically, and sketching this half oval shape here. A half oval shape. I'm going to put it right here in the middle so everyone can see. Now, as we talked about before, keep your lines loose. They don't have to be perfect. We really want to not be afraid of making mistakes on your paper. If you have to, just kind of draw a few scribbles on your paper if you are a perfectionist and you are afraid of making mistakes. So after we have our half oval, where it's just kind of cut off on the bottom, that part's cut off, as you can see there, we're going to then just simply draw a circle in the upper middle. So kind of starting right there, we're going to sketch out a circle. Now, please do not try to trace a circle. I always have students who try to find like a bottle cap or something to actually trace a circle. Just sketch it out. Learn to mold out and sketch out circles. There are so many circles in arts. You do not want your circles to be a stressing factor. Just sketch it out until you like it. Okay, and you can take your eraser, as I'm doing now, and kind of clean it up a little bit. Now I might be over exaggerating a little bit just to make a point, but the point is you should not, have to trace a circle. We can just sketch it out, and that is fine. And then eventually you'll get a circle the way you want to. Now there's many different ways to do this. If you wanted to make your circle smaller, you could. If you want to make it larger, you could. For our creature we're making today, you can go any routes. Okay, there's multiple routes that you can go. I kind of liked mine the way it was originally, which was just a tad bigger. So we have this kind of semi-vertical oval shape with a circle in the middle of it. The next thing we're going to do is just draw a horizontal line about right here. Okay, super easy, just sketch that line. And then we're going to go ahead and put a line here, a curved line here, and a curved line here. Okay, from there we're going to move on and we're going to add a pupil. So the pupil will just be a circle right here in the middle of the eye. I'll go ahead and shade that in. And I'm going to take my eraser, just leave a little spot right here for the light reflection. Okay, from that point we're going to give our monster some horns. Yep, we're drawing a Cyclops monster from the good old Odyssey. Give him some horns here. Now the horns can be all types of different shapes. Since this is a monster, they don't have to be perfect. You can have them be thicker, right, on the lower parts of the horn, or you can have them be thicker. I mean, you can make all types of different shapes different shape horns. You can come to a point like that. You can make it less ominous and kind of give it more of a curve like that. There's all types of different ways to draw the monster's horns. Here, maybe I want to make it a little bit more thicker on the side, on the bottom. Okay. All types of different things you can do there. Just don't be too much of a perfectionist, because if you are, you'll quit having fun, and as soon as you're not having fun, you're going to quit. Okay, so there we go. I like that. So let's go ahead and move on from there. I like our little Cyclops so far. We need to maybe give him a upper eyelid part right here. Sketch that in. And maybe a lower as well. And let's give him some teeth. There's all types of different teeth we can give him. I mean, we could kind of have teeth kind of come up like that, or you could have them come lower like that. You can give him more human teeth like that. All types of different ways you can do teeth, kind of teeth like that. All types of different ways. So what I'm going to do here is, let's see, maybe just give them teeth like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. You might be saying, well, the left one's a little bit bigger. Well, that's fine, because this is a monster and it's not supposed to have the perfect symmetrical facial appearance here. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to some hair. Let's give this guy some hair. Some crazy monster hair there. And then let's do some very simplified feet. So for the feet, it's just going to be, look at this, so easy. Like a half circle. This is fun. Check it out. There we go. Super, super easy way to draw feet. We can even give them some toes here. And yeah, there's our monster drawn out. Now I'm going to take this guy, move him over here. And we're going to practice drawing the same character, but turning him into more of a three-dimensional object in a 3/4 point of view here. So how would he look if we took this guy and turned him to the left a little bit? Let's go ahead and sketch that out now. So I'm looking at this shape and I'm going to imagine, what would it be like if it were turned? So maybe kind of draw him out. Maybe the head will kind of come back a little bit and the body down like that. And this is where we really kind of get to start to have fun. And this is where the classic bean shapes kind of come in as well. And that's the idea of making your artwork look like a bean. We can see here, we took a regular bean, sketched it out there. It might look like this. Okay, there's a bean. And a bean is kind of a fun way to draw a lot of characters in. Just going to kind of show that it's at a 3/4 view like this. So that's the way it's tilted. Maybe a little bit closer to that edge. Now, you might be asking about erasers. You can erase lightly when you erase, because we definitely erase a lot. What I suggest using is a kneaded eraser. They're also called gum erasers sometimes as well. And what's neat about them, like this pen right here, you can go over them slightly, but it doesn't erase things completely. So you still have your guidelines there without erasing everything completely. So one thing I know about this character already is the bottom is going to be kind of more flat like that. So I can erase that part. And there's one eyeball. One huge eyeball coming in probably about right here. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch that eyeball. Same thing we practiced before with drawing a circle. Just work it. Now what we're doing is we're sketching here. We're being very, very loose with our lines, and we're just sketching until we get things the way we want them to be. From there, let's go ahead and work on the upper eyelid. We see this right here, the upper eyelid. Now, if that's going to be more three-dimensional at a side profile, it might kind of come up here and then come down here like that. Like that. Kind of really starting to bring our character to life. And then we have this line that kind of comes here. Then we have that lower eyelid. See the lower one right here. Let's go ahead and draw that. It's going to protrude out a little bit. Maybe about right there. Okay. Always hear students say, I can't draw, I can't draw. Well, if you can pick up the pencil and put it on the paper, you can draw. The main thing is getting over that fear of thinking that you can't draw, or just being worried that you can't draw. You can draw. We're drawing right now. Okay, then maybe here I'll kind of sketch a line. Maybe here we'll have a line, maybe coming out here. If you don't like a line, just erase it. It's the brilliance of pencil. And then we'll go ahead and draw in that pupil. Here we can even maybe add in a little bit more detail. Wow. And let's move on to the mouth. Maybe this part is the mouth. We'll kind of have it protrude out just a tad. So about right here, we're going to have the mouth. We'll have this part kind of come in. We'll add a little bit more detail to the mouth here. It's going to be frowning a little bit more. I'll erase this line a little bit, have it a little bit of a overbite. When we see our character at the angle, we can add things that probably weren't very visible previously. Now we can, just by changing this bite right here, we can do a whole lot. Can change his personality a whole lot there, just by little things like that. We'll go through and erase this guideline. We don't need that guideline anymore. And let me compare him to the original. Okay, we're on task here. Let's go ahead and throw in that tooth. And the other one. And we'll add in just a little bit more detail just to kind of show that there's more of a bottom lip there. And now we have to put in the horns. So over here we have this horn, this one right there. Let's go ahead and draw that horn in. Probably be about right here. You might be thinking, oh, it's all messy. That's okay. We can erase those lines. This is not our final draft. This is not the end result. We're sketching. This is the relaxing part. It's like molding clay. If you guys ever played with clay before, or Play-Doh back in the day, if you don't, you just mold it. And if you don't like the way it is, you just mold it some more and some more and more. We're doing that. We're just doing it with pencil. Okay, there's one horn. The other horn's going to be, this one right here is going to be on the other side of the head. So we're not going to see all of it. We're actually not going to see much of it all, but we're going to over-exaggerate just a tad so people can see it. Sometimes we can do that in cartoony works, where in reality they might not be able to see it if this were a realistic drawing, but when we're doing cartoony stuff, we can get away with it, and that's why I love cartoons. Kind of breaks the rules a little bit, suspends reality. Okay, let's go ahead and put in the feet. Now the feet, we're going to be here. We kind of have a front view of the feet. Now we're going to have more of an angle. So I'm going to show you a really easy way to make feet. First of all, we can just kind of just draw them in here very lightly. Take my eraser and kind of just erase this. Actually going to erase these lines a little bit where you can kind of see them, but they're still not there. Now, feet, you can just easily make those type of lines. It's like an R, okay, a lowercase r, but drawn backwards. See that? Okay, so those are going to be the toes. Now, we can go ahead and start here. Oops, or maybe start right here. Okay, and then I can kind of connect them. So we have this one, and then this one. We'll do the same thing over here. Just like that. And is there anything else we want to add to the monster? If I want to, I can pull this line down a little bit, maybe make him look a little bit more balanced. Yeah, I like that. It looks a little bit more balanced now. Now, this is just a rough sketch, but I can kind of clean up some of those guidelines a little bit with my kneaded eraser. By the way, if you try to buy one of those on Amazon, make sure you spell it with a K. We'll go ahead and put him down here. We'll select this guy. Oops, my bad. Made a little mistake with the layers. Let me merge them down to one layer. I'm going to put him right there. Maybe I'll make this guy just a tad smaller. And move him right there. Okay. Now, since we have our front view and then our 3/4 profile there, we can go on and begin to ink those. Now, since I use blue lead, I don't really need to erase those. I mean, if I want to, I can a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to my pen now. I'll go ahead and grab my studio pen, make sure I'm on a new layer, go to my black ink, and this is where we get to have fun inking. Now, even with your inking, don't be too much of a perfectionist. We're not making art in Adobe Illustrator. We still want to see the human hand in all of this. Now remember, line with variety. Have some parts of the line be thicker and some parts be thinner. Here's a thin line that goes from thick and then back down to thin. This might be a little bit more of a challenge if you're using like just a regular Bic pen, but you can still do it just by going over the area multiple times. And I forgot to draw a hair on this guy. There we go. And there's our drawing. Now, what you can do as well to really clean this up a little bit is on some parts really thicken up those lines and make some lines look heavier than other lines. So lines carry a visual weight to them. I know that seems weird. You're like, how can a line carry weight? But the thickness to it kind of creates an implied weight in our minds when we see them. This also falls into the whole category of line with variety. Having different width variety in your lines, as we talked about many times in my actual physical art class that I teach. You can go back and do that with some of these. Oops. Now, I am obviously drawing digitally. There are some pros to drawing digitally, as you saw that I could erase some of my ink lines, which is nice. The biggest pro for drawing digitally is that it's easy to record to share with all of you out there. Now, in real life at my desk right now, I have my sketchbook, my rule sketchbook, right next to my iPad Pro, because I still prefer drawing traditionally. There's something special about the rawness of creating a piece of art on real paper in a real physical sketchbook. And I feel like you lose that a little bit when you draw digitally like I'm doing. So when you see these videos, don't go out and tell your parents that you have to have an iPad Pro. You don't. They're nice, but if you have your sketchbook and you have a pen and a pencil and even a set of color pencils, you're set. That can last you for years. So I'm going to go over these lines one more time and think, what is there anything here I need to improve? Maybe this line can be a little bit thicker. If you don't want to make a line too thick, all you have to do is just try to go over that line perfectly, and your own human error will cause it to be thicker. Now, if you want to, you can do this. Some people like to keep the blue pencil in the background, but as you can see, if we erase the blue pencil, we have just the line work there of our Cyclops monster, the front profile and the 3/4 profile. Now, if you want to, you can go back and color this in, add some color. If you want to just keep it a simple line drawing, you can do that. If you want to take your ink pen and add some cross hatching, you can do that, or just do some pencil shading and shade it in with that. You have all types of options. I'll let you decide what you want to do, what color you want to make your Cyclops. I mean, there's so many things you can add here. One thing you might want to add just to make it a little bit more fun is you can add some veins, just a few little veins here in the eye. Just kind of kind of make it look a little bit more creepy. You ever just want to make an eyeball look a little bit more weird? Let's draw a few little veins like that. Okay. You can always just go ahead and put in a few like stress marks in the ears. I'm sorry, the horns. A few little things like that, and you can go on and go on if you want to. You can go through here and add maybe in some fingernails. Toenails. Like that. You can do that here too. So you can continue to add to this guy and just really beef them up here a little bit. Put some little lines here. So, but yeah, I'm gonna let you guys decide what you actually want to do with the rest of this drawing. And that's going to be it for today. So thanks for doing the art assignment of the day with me, everyone. It's great to have you following along. Hopefully you're healthy and you continue to do well during this this time where we're all stuck in our homes. Make sure you make good use of this time. Be productive. Treat people good. Treat the people around you good. And be an example and be a leader. I'll catch you guys later.